So, my client, Diogo Almeida, um, in his intake, he said that he's been exercising for more than 10 years, so he has a lot of experience in training. As of lately, he's been training 6 times per week. In terms of sleep, uninterrupted hours, he said 2 hours. That's very low. That's something that stood out to me. That and the water intake, he said that he only takes 1.5 liters. Also very low. Okay. In terms of why he wants a coach, he said that he wants to have structure in his training, which means that he needs to have a goal to achieve, to keep motivated, to keep himself motivated, and that's why he needs a coach. He has to feel that somebody is helping him and is guiding him to his goal. That's what drives him in training. In terms of food, he said something that stood out also. He said that when he was a kickboxer for almost 10 years, and he said that he had a very unhealthy relationship with food, which means that he was all the time hungry because he was cutting weight for the weight class in which he was fighting, and he was always hungry. And when it was possible, like when the fight was over, he would binge, he would eat everything in sight, and that developed an unhealthy relationship with food. So that stood out to me because then when we talked in the initial consultation, he said that now he has found a balance, that means that he keeps 90% of his food healthy, okay, healthy choices. Those 10% maybe a dessert after dinner, maybe a snack during the day, and that he found balance. When he said that he found balance now, that he has found balance in that topic, I didn't touch more on that subject, nutrition. I didn't want to disrupt that balance. Okay, I didn't want to maybe bring back some bad memories in terms of food. So, in terms of nutrition, when he said that he was able to keep a balanced diet, I left it there. Okay. Um, Initial consultation. So he was a kickboxer. So he was very experienced in strength training, also cardio and power. He did a lot of that training. He loves training. He loves being told what to do. He loves having a goal in mind and working to get there. He loves that process. Loves. He had a coach that helped him become a national champion, but then he developed an injury in his right arm, shoulder, and elbow tendinitis due to the modality. He was always punching, and he developed tendinitis. After that injury, he said that his coach became a little sloppy, which means that programming wasn't the same as before. He was given the same day of training. He was given the programming, and before he was given with 1 week ahead. And after days, he felt betrayed. He felt that the person who he trusted the most betrayed him, and since then he has started to worry about everything, and that feeling like he's always worried about everything makes him feel very stressed all the time, and that's what affects his sleep. He has 2 hours of uninterrupted sleep because he always wakes up thinking about something, about work, about family, about his girlfriend. Something is always in his mind. um, and that's why he loves structure in his training. He needs to know what's coming so he can plan all those little details. Something that a surprise he doesn't like at all. Um, in terms of initial consultation, he said that gymnastics he gets very gassed very quickly, which means that when he does gymnastics isolated, fine, no problem. When it's in the middle of workout, it's with double unders and with some cycle modality, he gets gassed very quickly, and he feels that the quality of that gymnastics deteriorates a lot. He also has some difficulties in the overhead squat and squat snatch. he does them, but he has some difficulty. In terms of Opex move, scratch and squat touch, he failed. In the scratch test, the arm that goes above, he would flare his ribcage, indicates some problem, mobility in the shoulder. And the squat test, he was unable to keep his humerus in line with the ear. He would bend forward the arms, which means also a problem, shoulder extension, lack of shoulder extension. On the other tests, he passed very easily. Lunge, front plank, side plank, he passed very easily. Those movements were something that he was used to, so he passed them very easily. In terms of the long term, his goal, they told me in this consultation, was to podium at ARX competition nationally, and the competition that he has in mind is 18 months from now, which means 1.5 year from now. So in terms of long-term plan, I laid out 4 different accumulation stages, deload between one of them, and accumulation stages we start map 8 and then we would come down, and then we'd start the intensification, and that's where the plan of 12 months ends. Intensification 1, map 5, that means 3 minutes intervals. From there we would come down a little bit until he goes to pre-competition and competition, okay? So in the 12 months, we did 4 different accumulations, 3 deloads, and 1 intensification, map 5 on the intensification. Now, in terms of goals on those long term, mobility, shoulder mobility, and we would include that in the warm-ups and cool-downs. Single arm pressing exercises, I would include that on the training, and gymnastics conditioning, which means doing gymnastics with easy cyclical work. That was another of priority. Short term, 4 weeks. So he would train 6 days a week. Wednesdays and Saturdays were like active recovery, long aerobic work, easy. On Wednesdays, machines. On Saturdays, Saturdays are a day that he has to work, so he can't come to the gym. He would run outside. Monday and Thursday, we do gymnastics, push-pull, like handstand push-ups, chest bar, muscle up, and pacing on the machines, which means that on Mondays and Thursdays we do a long piece, 20 minutes at least, and combining gymnastics with easy cyclical work. On Tuesdays and Fridays we do squat, band, and core. We put the weightlifting on those days, and we work his overhead squat on those days. All days, all week, warm up, shoulder, kettlebell windmill, prone rows, prone angels, like movements that help his shoulder extension. And on Mondays and Thursdays, the gymnastics day, we'd put accessories, single arm pressing exercises to improve shoulder extension. Also, so we'd work on his upper body mobility with warm-ups and post-workout. He uses the app GoWOD. We'd program it to focus on upper body mobility. He does that every day after workouts. Now, in terms of why I included the exercises that I did. So he said in the initial consultation, he gets gassed with gymnastics. Since his goal is to go to a competition and do well, perform well, that is necessary. He has to do gymnastics while being while under some fatigue. So we did that, gymnastics with the easy cyclical work, like I said, 2 days per week. Overhead squat, we did tempo overhead squat, so slow on the eccentric and pauses down there to solidify the position. We do some squat snatch battery, low percentage, so that he could ingrain the movement. In terms of lifestyle, so since he wants to compete, he drinks a lot of water, and he sleeps very bad. Those were the two things that I wanted him to focus on. In terms of water, he drank 1.5 liters. I recommended half of his body weight in ounces, that's equal to 2.6 liters. And in terms of sleep, he would stay on his phone right until he gets to bed. I prescribed a wind down. So before bed, shut down all electronics, read a book with some dim lights. See if he can get in that stage, in that psychological stage of going to sleep. So those were the two things that I prescribed in the lifestyle. I didn't touch the nutrition, like I said before. In the past, he had an unhealthy relationship with food. So since he has found a balance now, I didn't want to disrupt that balance. So nutrition, I didn't touch anything. Only sleep and water in terms of lifestyle. In terms of exercise, like I said, gymnastics with easy cyclical work, shoulder extension movements, warm up, a lot of them, and that's it.